Today I'm putting to test 3 of the cheapest air fryers in the world. One of them cost just £11. Let's go. Oh. As you know, I picked up this budget air fryer in a supermarket a few years ago, and at first I was quite skeptical, but I've slowly fallen in love with it. In fact, we've got an air fryer playlist now. I'm not quite as hardcore as some of you that have actually got rid of your toasters and replaced it with that because of all the multi-functions that they generally have. And of course, these are just basic models, but I trawled the internet over 30 days ago. There's a reason for it, 30 days. We'll come on to that in a bit, to find the cheapest air fryers I could. So let's start with the first one from Amazon. Yep, so this thing from Amazon is called an Inmozata. That's the brand name. Here's a little tip on Amazon. If you type in air fryer and then you sort by price and you go the highest first, there are some people that are selling like legitimate models that cost like 60 quid for like thousands and thousands of pounds to try and catch people out. Don't do that. Also, if you type in air fryer or air fryer oven and you search by low price first of all, you're trawling through loads of pages of silicone molds. I think I was doing that for about, I don't know, 60 pages. It was pretty crazy. But then I stumbled upon this, and it's got a brand name of Inmozata. Sounds quite nice. So that was listed as £25.99, but it had a 5% discount voucher, which took it to £24.69. So like Alan, it's a 1400 watt air fryer and a 4.5 litre capacity, which is pretty good. Ooh. Oh my word. I'm not sure if you can say that, but the first thing I've literally seen, it says troubleshooting without a G on the end. It's almost like a slang cowboy phrase, shooting. The product do not working. Possible reason, the product is not plugged. Oh, wow. Look at this beast, it's green. God, it stinks. Right, so I'm gonna wash this and the bucket. They're just drying this up, but look what I've just spotted on the side. It's got an entire crack down it. Oh, wow. I am 100% gonna send that back. But is that gonna be safe? Yeah, I mean, it's fairly well away from the heating element. That is so lightweight, I can tell why it shattered. So, the most cliche thing ever to air fry, chips. So on a bag of frozen chips now, it's obviously got oven and also now air fryer, and you've got cooking times depending on the wattage. So this is 1400, 16 minutes. So rather than Alan the air fryer that I had before, where it has these like rubber feet that grip it, there's actually a slightly lower indent in here to actually force there to be air circulation underneath it, which is quite good. However, this, I mean, obviously it's gonna be weighed down, can rattle around like I just showed you. It's got a flashing power button here, but it's quite faded. Oh! It says like the word nut, pizza, timing, but you don't actually have. Can I press this? No. Power? No. What the heck is going on? Oh, what? Oh, chips. There we go. Chips 40, meat 35, warm? No. Nut 15, pizza. Timing. Temperature. Oh my gosh, this is horrendous. Timing. Oh, this is the most awkward thing to use. Right, chips, power, chips, go, go, go. Oh, 205C, what the heck is going on? I can't even use this thing. 5-star Amazon review from Honest Review. I'm a bit skeptical if your username is Honest Review. Excellent value for money. This is a repurchase of this item. The last one gave in after 5 years, which is daily use, is really good. Okay, Woody, 3 stars. Tried to cook meat, but it takes too long, and as I have no manual, I don't know if I was using it correctly. 6 people found that helpful. Now 7. Okay, Cindy's review is bang on here, but she still gave it 3 stars. That's very kind, Cindy. The paper that comes with it has no instructions. What is the function button? How to set up this machine? I was so excited, but it's a waste, spelt like your body, of money, as I can't work it. And Danny's giving it a 4-star. First attempt, not so good. Chips look puffed up and burnt. Frozen chips work better. Cha-ching. Disliked that there was no proper instructions. I had to guess the time, and doesn't open after it's finished cooking, which was stated in the basic instructions, and the non-stick coating has come off. The non-stick coating's come off and you're giving it 4 stars? I think the chips are gonna just thaw out in their own time if I carry on like this. Right, the door is shut. It's got a dent here anyway too. Why is the meat button flashing? These buttons at the top don't do anything, okay? Remember these images there? They don't do anything. Power. Chips. I just turned it off. What am I doing? Come on, this is ridiculous. I am not doing all the recipes with this one. This is atrocious. And this was the most expensive one of the 3. Oh. That sounds very, very quiet compared to Alan the air fryer. That's my budget one. Well, it used to be my budget one. So there was that review that said you can't open the bucket until the timer's done. Possibly that could be the reason why it's damaged. Someone might have got angry that it had it before. I don't need it to cook for 40 minutes. Look, the timer is going down. So in about 16 minutes, as per that packaging, we will rip open that bucket. I'm fairly certain we should be able to do that though. I think it might be just that I do with this, because this is not good. You know, the really scary thing about that is I don't want to open that bucket because I don't even know how it decided to start working. I just was pressing all the buttons, and half the time I'm pressing them, it just felt like nothing was happening. It's so strange. However, the factory scent is slightly going away now with the delicate waft of partly cooked chips. We're on our way. This is massively disappointing. I will be sending that back to Amazon, 100%, because even though I mean, 24 quid, I'm not wasting 24 quid on that. It's just going to sit there, and I'm certainly not going to let one of you guys have it. See, it's now gone down to 34, which shows 6 minutes. I have 100% been stood here for more than 6 minutes. I know, it feels like it's about 10. I don't think even the timer is accurate. There's something going on. To be fair, I think it might be worth keeping these for the instructions alone. Even the very first word, look, warm reminder. Right, come on, let's try these chips. Yeah, it's had 18 minutes in there. We've shaken it up. Ooh, nice bit of sizzle. Ugh. All right, that's red hot. Well, don't worry, Alan does that, so we'll give it some slack. Oh, starting again. No, how do I stop it? Power, stop. Just literally, just stop. Right, so I've got two choices now. I can either let that do whatever. It's not even got a timer on it now. It's just running. I can either just let it run forever, or shall I just turn it off down here at the socket? There we go. Gotta be honest though, I can't fault the chips. They are warmed and crispy. I just felt like I had no control whatsoever of that. That is a really good crunch. Yeah, they're cooked absolutely fine. It's just a shame that the machine, well, is broken anyway and has no instructions and basically does what it wants. It's a selfish air fryer. Anyhow, the second one is from wish.com.
They sell you tat for cheap.
It was originally reduced from £32.94 to £22.92, plus a shipping fee of £2.99. So all the way from the other side of the world, this air fryer has cost me £25.91. 1300 watts, so slightly less power. This one's only got a 2.5 litre bucket versus the 4.5 litre one on our first one in Mozarta and indeed Alan too, so it's almost got half the capacity. Oh, here we go. This one looks like just as big as the other one. Ooh, it's got some weird... Ugh. It does look a little bit like a Mr. Fusion on the back of the DeLorean. But this feels a lot more sturdy, I've got to give it that. And, like I say, it's pretty much the same price. Bucket again. Ooh, cardboard. Oh, I like this. It's got like rubber feet like that. Do you know what? This could actually be an Italian brand because it's got rubber toes. Rubber toes. I've got to say, I've just washed that up and there is something nice about them feet on there. That's better than the ones that came with Alan. This feels way better quality. Don't worry, the plan is not just to air fry chips today. I'm hoping this one will take it to the next level. There are some instructions on this one, to be fair. So we just turn that on and hopefully this screen in a minute. Oh no, please work. Has the air fryer bucket got to be in to turn it on? That would be quite a good feature actually, wouldn't it? Oh, it has! Oh, wow. There's a power and a play pause button. So we press that, change the temperature. Oh, it's quite slow to react. Oh wow, if I press this, it's a menu button. Look, it's chicken, steak, fish, cake. I don't know what that is. Tubes, fries, oh, prawns. Oh, let's go to the fries one then. Fries at 200C for 20 minutes. That is sounding a lot more safer. I can hear the Mozarta going, oh yeah, I can do that, give me another chance. And what I like about this is I can already tell that this is like solid, like proper good. I mean, it didn't have a crack on it either. And I don't know actually, that bucket, there's no way that's double the, it's a little wider. Reviews, Anna says thanks. Hang Hang on, you've paid for it, Anna. Stuart says, I've got 2 now, so can cook 2 items at the same time. Highly recommended. Actually, to be fair, that is probably cheaper still than those ones that you get with 2 baskets. A very good point. In fact, that might come onto a future video. Shh, you haven't seen this, right? But seriously, out of the 3 air fryers here today, I'm gonna do a follow-up video competing this or the next one against that beast. And a lot of you guys want me to test a Ginger for a very long time. But Ronald's 3-star review, I have not opened the item yet. The last one I bought, I gave it away as there was no institution inside. Well, let me tell you, Ronald, these are a darn sight better. If you've got the basic operation things, do a bit of research, mate. This ain't no in Mozarta. Yeah, it's absolutely perfect for what you need. And just as I was saying that, it just made a gentle beep at 10 minutes halfway through. Ooh. We have to be fair though, to the in Mozarta. We ain't getting it back out of the box, but we did do them at 160. So with that, and that's the great thing with the intensity of an air fryer, it's a much smaller space, right? So it warms up, cooks the food quicker. And even with the higher the wattage goes too, that's a factor also. But 1300 watts versus 14, it's not a massive difference. But like that extra 40-degree temperature, those chips are probably gonna be done way quicker than it's saying there. These are cooked a lot better. And I think that my favorite thing out of this is that those feet, look, that is not falling out. Really cool. Even that bit alone, like I can put it down on the surface there and the feet are off the ground so that the metal is not touching the work surface. Really impressed by this. Yeah, that's done an amazing job. All right, we're gonna test a few more different things in here. So we've got some onion granules, garlic pepper, mixed herbs, lemon zest, piece of salmon. This is some legitimate air fryer oil spray. Yes, it is a bit of a fad, but I realized that I am gonna get quite a lot of use out of it. So there it is in there. I haven't put any holes in the baking parchment. We did the air fryer hacks video about that because there's enough circulation around it. It is actually quite a small capacity one. But like, these could be really handy for making side dishes, or if you live on your own, or for 2 people. Oh my gosh, I haven't stopped it. Oh, that was easy. So now, should we try fish? Now I want the temperature, I'm overriding it now. Temperature 160. I'm gonna go 9 minutes. Recently we did the celebrity recipe video where we did salmon in the microwave from Stephen King. Much longer, and that could have came out pretty tough indeed, so I'm really trying to make sure that this cooks well. Worth noting again, at the halfway stage, it did do a very quiet beep. It's telling me basically to flip it over or shake it up if I was doing fries or other things that need to be agitated for even cooking. Salmon, not so much. So whilst it was doing that, I've just halved up some Brussels sprouts, getting rid of the outer leaves, and dumped them into some water that is parboiling them right now. In fact, they're only gonna need about 5 minutes in there just to help them with the cooking process, soften them up, because they're going to Flavor Town after this salmon, which is ready, I was about to say, in 160 minutes time, in 1 minute. All right, and it does smell very fishy in here. Oh my word, look at that. Oh, you gorgeous thing. Look at this. I'm still missing that glass frontage though. There were some slightly more expensive ones that have that window so you can see what's going on. I don't know if I think I do need it, but I'm also like being a nosy air fryerist, you know? Trust it. So I'm hoping for kind of like flaky salmon. Oh my word. Oh, yeah, it's actually nice and flaky. It's not too tough. It's sort of falling off of it. Oh, and that crust on there looks amazing. Oh, something about when you cook salmon. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind it in sushi and all that stuff, but when you cook it, it just kind of goes more mellow. And the moisture that an air fryer gives as well. I remember juicy chicken too. And the cool thing is I might get to make this again. That is delicious. And like so simple. Genuinely love this. But I don't know if I like it more than Alan though, because Alan's just like real basic, temperature, green light, red light. Of course, I've not preheated them yet. And a timer, so like you have that control. I don't need presets. I don't need images of fish and cakes and steak. That's the posters on my bedroom wall. But for robustness, the solid build of it, and the fact that you can do it manually too, it is good. So these Brussels sprouts I've just cooked and I've just steamed them dry in a colander. I'm hoping to make this recipe twice, so... they're still quite warm. Hello, hot Brussels sprouts. See, this was a recipe suggested to me on my Patreon Discord, because it should really visualize how well these cook. Sprouts, bacon, and some honey. But we're giving Roberto, that's what I'm calling it, a little bit of a rest. We're right back in just in the bowl here. I did a video the other day where we made recipes entirely in the air fryer. We know this is going to be fine. Look at that. But we did something very similar on Christmas last year in the air fryer. It really helped us out with side dishes. Oh, I don't like screens like this either because they're all like touch screeny. I've got fingerprints all over it. There's something quite satisfying about just twisting a nozzle, you know? About 19 minutes, 190C. Boom. But I think that's the whole point about today's video. It's like, I feel like an air fryer should be a cheap thing that's just an appliance that just does actually help you save time. But there's so much with it that maybe you should spend a little bit more. However, have we found something where there's that perfect balance? And don't get me wrong, the ginger air fryer that we've got coming up is going to be a heck of a contrast. But maybe there's that sweet spot. And maybe I've already got it. All right, it's been a few minutes. Oh my word. This air fryer packs a punch. Get a smell of that. You're just gonna hang around there all day now, mate? You might have had a bit of bacon. Anyhow, boom. Check this out. Oh my gosh, I might have left it in too long. No, I haven't. Oh, that looks amazing. I want it charred. That is the average person's excuse when they're hosting their own barbecue. But I like that, when it's charred, that caramelization, that color. I mean, look at this one. Ah! Oh. That is good. Damn. Wow. I am seriously impressed with that, and I think they did bigger ones too. The one last thing I'm going to cook in there is kind of like a personal thing, because I really enjoy making jacket potatoes in the air fryer compared to the oven. It's a lot quicker and easier. So this is a big old baking potato that I have washed, and I'm just piercing with a fork. Some oil on there, absolute mountain of pepper, and some salt. Stick it in there, salt on there, pepper too, safely into Roberto, because it's like covered in oil. It's kind of like the ice skating jacket potato, which sounds like a kid's novel. Unfortunately, that is going to need a little bit longer, but it'll be a darn sight quicker than the oven, and you're not paying all that electricity to preheat like that massive carcass. Ah, that's one hell of a spud. Oh my gosh, I heard the crunch. Oh wow, oh wow. Can you hear that crunch? I can see how fluffy that is. In fact, I don't know if I want to eat it because it's so hot. Oh, I'm going to have to. What hot? Oh, that's good though. Just for like a bland potato, that was fluffy. And in fact, if you want to save even more time, you could bung it in the microwave first of all. Some of you guys suggested me that tip. Right, Homcom, they might generally need to write a rom-com about you, because you are generally good. And if you're wondering why I did a baked potato as well as chips, obviously like the chips and fries are so thin, whereas that potato is a pure mass, but we've got that fluffiness and that crunch. The last one is going to have to be really good to beat this. Yep, this last one from AliExpress is called a camel. The box looks like it's had a heck of a trip here, and on that note, this cost just £11.66. And if I lived in Asia, I could collect it, but I could do click and collect. However, once we factor in shipping and local taxes, this 4-litre air fryer came to £49.20. Yes, this actually took over 30 days to get here, and since then, the price of this has actually gone up. It's now £32.2p for the delivery alone. The only thing to say about this one, I've got no reviews to go by. There are no reviews whatsoever, which could mean it's bad. There's also on one of the listing pages, there was a few weird images, but one of them sort of said 1350/800 watts. It's like, that's quite a big difference. On this side of the box, this is now saying it's 1200 watts, so it's neither. This is less powerful than Roberto, but with a bigger bucket, so it could be slower. Oh, this feels really lightweight, oh my word. No instructions. To be fair, I was sort of expecting that. It's sort of wrapped the way a lettuce is in a shop. And what is it? With just the random images of fish and chicken and cakes. I mean, that's the great thing. We've got the timer there, but have we? I don't know if we've got a way of adjusting the temperature on this one. Oh! Yes, I do. Look, I've got like a katsu curry sort of recipe there. It's all in Asian, unfortunately. I could use Google Translate with the lens and all that stuff, but it does say like 2025 and then 200C as well. But it's all spring rolls and dumplings. But that's it. All of the ingredients are 200C. It doesn't go any higher. It doesn't go any lower. That is the limitation with this. Oh my word. Oh, just as I was washing this, I've wiped it off now, but it does look like someone might have used this before. And also on the back, some of the build quality here, like it's all just warped. That is shocking. That's like, looks like it wants to snap off. I mean, you get what you pay for, right? Maybe not what you pay your delivery shipping costs for. I mean, even the build quality there, like with the screws protruding like into the food there, like it can get, that can actually touch the food. I've not seen that before. I do feel like this one is, that's such a light bucket, oh my word. I feel like we're kind of, look how lightweight that is. Oh my gosh, it doesn't want to, the door doesn't, yeah, okay, right. Oh my, oh, that is horrendous. Oh, like even that button is just like, right, we're air frying at 200°C because we have to, which should be the hottest heat for those chips yet. So potentially the quickest cooking time out of all of them. I might have to just check that that's actually doing something at the minute, because all I can hear is a lot of rattling. Ugh. Yeah, that's on. Oh my word. It's sort of like I'm either on or I'm not. I think we've just bought like an electric heater. We've got about halfway through, and one thing, when you pull the bucket out, look, it's still going. That is literally on fire. That is not safe. Shaking these up, they are cooking. And also every so often I hear this random like popping noise. Just got to get 3 or 4 recipes out of it. I've got some serious concerns about this. It has been nearly 25 minutes and it'll only stop if I go, I didn't even make a ping. You've not even got enough budget for a ping. Yeah, you want to hear that it's ready at least. That's the only way of stopping that heating element be 200°C. But is it 200°C? Because like I say, the last air fryer we did, oh my gosh, that door just wants to just fall out anyway. Like the chips were golden in colour. These have had nearly 10 minutes longer. Yeah, really warm. Whether there's like a slight gap, because I have to keep pushing that door back in, it's losing a bit of the heat. But even for that space, that heat element, we saw how hot that was. Like these are actually disappointingly like just about done. I mean, they're fine. To be fair, out of all the recipes, I think the salmon will be fine. So let's find out. I've placed another piece of baking parchment in there, new piece of salmon with the same old coating. Oh my gosh, see, look. Oh my word. It's like the most reluctant timer. It's like, okay, I'll do it. I think someone's telling some porky pies about the wattage in this thing, because it is weak. But I have to remember, the day that I looked, this was legitimately the cheapest air fryer in the world. That has literally, look, gone beyond zero. Oh! It clicked. Ooh! That fish is done. Right, but are you a bit tough? Are you a bit gummy? You have got a more golden crust on it, which is kind of like the opposite of... Oh no, that's delicate. Kind of like the opposite of those chips, because that's the right cooking time. Mmm. Oh, I ate the rest of that salmon. I don't really want to eat it again, but that is delicate and flaky. I think because we kept the door shut and didn't have to shake it up, we didn't use any more heat than it is naturally anyway with its door not being ajar. But yeah, that's absolutely fine. Right, the sprouts and the bacon thing. We get our sprouts in, dump our bacon in, and the honey again. Now, how well will it char this? Because of course with this one, we are gonna have to keep opening this door. Oh my gosh. Literally, you know, I did the McDonald's toy video recently. I felt like they were more robust than this thing. And that's plugged into my electric mains. See, this is the bit I'm not understanding. At this point in time when we were using Roberto, look, there's hardly any color at all there. There's still a little bit of the fat from the bacon, but it's not even sizzling. There's something not right about this, and yet the salmon got like a really nice golden crust on it. Maybe it just like has periodic lunch breaks or something like that. I'm getting really worried about this machine. Look, I'm gonna show you something. Can you see? The heating element's off. I really don't want to touch this too much. But right now, that has been in there for nearly half an hour. I just got to show you, look, it's cooking. It's fine. Oh my word, I nearly pushed it off the counter then. This does not bode well for the jacket potato. I don't even know if I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry folks, but it's been 40 minutes. Look at that. It's just, I mean, that's gonna be fine. I think it might be slightly broke, you know, and not pushing it to the max. Maybe letting it cool for a minute is a good thing. It tastes like it's just been reheated. Okay, I don't even know whether to try the last one, the jacket potato one again, just purely because it could take blooming days. And I wanna help it. Like, this is actually a smaller potato. Doesn't even go, look at this. It doesn't even go beyond half an hour. So let's just see what it does in half an hour. In fact, I'm gonna give it a minute and we'll see if that heating element is red hot. No, that ain't gonna cook that potato. We'll give it half an hour. If it's even got any sort of showing that it's cooking, we'll keep going. If not, well, we'll think we've got our winner. That's what I'm saying, it's not like getting hot anymore. It's weird, like something's happened. It was red hot and then it just... I have to be honest, I've just walked back into this room and there is a proper smell of factory. I am a little bit worried about this. I am gonna give it, it's nearly there. So it would have had a whole half an hour blast in there. It's certainly not smelling good. Can you hear that? It keeps doing that noise on and off. I don't know, I think it's broken. Oh no! I mean, it's slightly warm. Oh look at that! You can see, it almost looks like a Scotch egg. You can see where that's still raw potato there and it's like little bands, like that's cooked there. That's starting to go. And this bit is still nowhere near. But it's the fact that the timer, I think that's actually completely given up on me. I kind of understand why it's got no reviews. Because with no reviews, no one's gonna know. So with that in mind, I'm actually feeling a little bit sorry for the Inmosata thing with its cracked outer shell and its just really terrible interface. I think, you know what? That, compared to that last one we've just done, was a darn sight safer. I mean, it hardly wanted to work at all. But I think without a shadow of a doubt, Roberto was the true winner today. That is legit. Homcom, I've no doubt that there's a well-known brand that might have stuck their badge on that. Absolutely fantastic. And it is probably this one, or indeed Al in the air fryer, that I'm going to put up against the super expensive air fryer. And maybe I'll team them up, do a tag team for one special test. I'm thinking of the dual basket one off of one of those reviews, if you know what I'm saying. I could buy two. I've got about 5 air fryers in the house now. Don't get me wrong, on the air fryer playlist, the AI air fryer we tested, that completely blew all of these out of the park, absolutely, in so many different ways. But in terms of value for money, that simple, cheap appliance that's sturdy, steady, safe, and not gonna let you down, Roberto, which cost me £25.91, as I say, that includes the £2 shipping. And despite Ronald's 3-star review, absolute winner. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to check out the air fryer playlist if you wish. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye. I actually think there's kind of like a sweet spot between a real super budget one and dangerous one, i.e. this, but something like that, even a little bit more, you can get so much more out of it. So I'll see you later, guys. All the best.